It's fall, in the middle of the night, and the wind is blowing harshly outside my window. It's just been election day, and I don't believe in democracy. As I sit here and write, I write what I feel. I have not planned what to write. I don't believe in democracy because I don't believe that wisdom is found in the masses. I don't believe that the average consumer is an intelligent one, a rational consumer. I believe people are governed more by irrational emotion than by rationality. I believe people fear ostracization and rather know they are wrong and conform to the majority beliefs than to be right and go against them. I believe people take shortcuts. I don't believe people are honorable, honest, nor informed or even skeptic. I believe at least half of the population have a lower IQ than the mean IQ of the population. I believe humans are a little more than sheep. How can I say such things, you might think? Well, how can I not, I must ask in return. A confrontation of worldviews has been created. So who is right? Is it me, who reduced the human masses to little more than sheep? Or are we all skeptical, honest, honorable, brave truth crusaders? Well, a quick study of Edward Bernays, market advertisers, mass psychologists, confirms my accuracy in regards to the masses. Conformity studies has been made, and again my beliefs are proven accurate. The statement that people rather know they are wrong and align themselves with the masses is a factual one. Implicit association test reveals how humans claim to hold views they claim they know they don't hold. They're dishonest. Global warming scientists conspire to lie to the masses, in mails to each other. They know better, yet they lie. Politicians are no exception. People make themselves more presentable than they really are on their CVs. Studies claim we lie about 5 to 10 times a day. The Day America Told the Truth says that 91% of those surveyed lie routinely about matters they consider trivial. And 69% lie to their spouses. The dating show In the Dark, people usually claim appearance do not matter. The show teaches how two people can evolve an interest in each other, then as the light gets turned on and they get to see each other, they initially lied. Appearance seems to do matter all of a sudden. So how much of this peace babble really is honest? Then we have politics. How many are skeptic towards the democratic system? How many ever questions it and go beyond it to discover other systems such as market anarchy or monarchy? These remain abstract concepts, if even discovered as valuable systems to most. How many voted on Obama for his policies? Most people know what the media tells them. They rarely go beyond this source of information. They are clearly uninformed and unskeptical. In other words, they don't care that they are informed. That they are uninformed, They are content. Neuropolitics show that we are born predisposed to political beliefs. We are willing to defend members who have done wrong because of our desire to like them. Our desire to like them is based on information. Well, usually not. Usually some vague emotion about what is good and how these provide most of it. What I ought to think if I am a decent person. I know that we are born predisposed to political leanings, but I personally have a theory that despite of this, what we learn first have an important impact on our identity. Say I like person A and want to like person A, and person A does something terrible. My views doesn't necessarily change because he was a part of my identity, and by saving his face, I thereby save mine from embarrassment. If I dislike person B and I like to dislike person B and B does something terrible, I will shout, "See how right I am." I think this is a problem inherent with most people, and there's no way of getting around it. It's a human flaw. So, am I wrong? Or does various scientific fields prove my beliefs to be right? I think they do. Now, as I grew up, I was raised in a perfect family with a perfect sibling in a perfect neighborhood, and I look back on my childhood with joy and happiness. I lived in a homogeneous environment near the fields, the forests, the ocean. I had many friends and we all played on the streets where cars rarely passed by, and if they did, it was always someone's neighbor who gladly waved to us wearing a comforting smile. This was the world that came to be what I now wish to return to. This was the world I come from and want my descendants to live in. I loved the people. I thought the people loved me. I loved the nature and that had produced me. When I was on vacation, I always sighed when I returned home as I descended down from the skies in the airplane. I sighed because of how beautiful my land is and how wonderful it is to return home. And when I was away on my vacation, I thought myself an ambassador of my people, of my land, a representation of a collective. I quite quickly realized the logic behind group dynamics. I was later introduced to elements that had existed in my nation without my consent and awareness. I was introduced to the harshness of the big cities. People walking quickly as if void of emotion, concrete jungles of stress and impatience, intolerance and autonomy, few trees, few people who knew each other, but perhaps most of all strange-looking people in grey buildings who apparently were not just tourists but actually claimed to live here. I thought this was strange as a 8 years old and knew they came from elsewhere. I knew I had my home, this land, and they had their home elsewhere. I was produced by this soil. My ancestors had lived here for thousands of years, and they were not produced by this soil. They had a different temperament. They looked different, acted different, and they were here to stay, they claimed. But not only to stay, but to grow and grow and grow, and as they grew, places I've been to before were unrecognizable. As if buildings doesn't actually have to be semi-erased for them to be ruins. All that has to change is the people, and the buildings turn to ruins. The people you associate with these buildings were gone. I grew up and enjoyed reading history books, great honorable, brave acts of valor by William Wallace or Leonidas and his Spartans. I enjoyed fantasy books and the mystique coziness of old castles, and the beauty of monuments, paintings, and the fascination of old scientists such as Leonardo, and beautiful classical music. I enjoyed the holidays, especially Christmas, this magical holiday where you decorate the house and drink hot, warm chocolate milk and eat some gingerbreads and listen to beautiful music as the snow is decorating the landscape outside. I associated all of this with my people because it came from my people. It was by my people. I saw the potential only in my people, and they behaved in a peculiar way, unlike other people. As I became older, I learned that I was one of the few who did this. I thought everyone did it. Apparently, what I thought, and have thought all of my life, is an abomination. It's vile, it's sick, it's horrible, pathetic, dumb, irrational, demonic, monstrous. I was shocked. I love my people. and associate our ways of old with them, yet they actually hate me. Why do they hate me when I love them? I thought. It saddens me that my cousins, my own flesh and blood, the young little kids I watched grow up to become young adults, didn't know better either, wasn't more convinced, didn't value their family, their land, their upbringing, their culture, their habitus, more than that of the newcomers or the new acquaintances. Was it that little of worth? Are you willing to throw all of this away? Don't you care? I can't help but to feel somewhat backstabbed and betrayed. They don't mind seeing places I hold dear to my heart, places I thought we both valued equally, places we shared, completely transformed. They don't mind seeing the annihilation of their own family, the annihilation of me, my family, their own parents and siblings, all of us, who gave you so much love, time and energy, all the joy we shared together, all the memories. Do we really mean that little? Are we not special? Was it not special? I mean, even if they're blind to the demographic trends, they have eyes to see with, don't they? I mean, no one is that dumb, are they? Especially not my own cousins. You see, they are of my own stock. How can we be so different? I love you. Why do you hate me? So what is going on here? Am I and the minority the crazy ones? Or has, as weird as it may sound, everyone else turned crazy? You would think it's logically more likely that it is the former, that it's you and me who are crazy and the other ones are the same ones, but again, as before, I think I am right. I think you and I are right when I say that it's everyone else who has become crazy. One way to discover whether or not a position is natural or whether it is corrupt, a product of conditioning, brainwashing, is to study ethnocentrism and xenophobia in animal population, preferably species who are genetically close to us humans. Even better is to study what we as toddlers and children think of race. Perhaps even better if this inherent sentiment ever really goes away implicitly. Again, studies concerning species confirms my worldview to be natural. Studies on young and toddlers and children confirms that my view is the uncorrupted one, and studies in adulthood, the implicit association test, shows that it's a sentiment that's only mutable explicitly, not implicitly, and relies on heavy autosuggestion. It is that strong, that natural. In other words, my worldview, our worldview, is not the corrupted, unnatural one. And another thing. The moral preachers of the cultural left talk about hate, tolerance, diversity, artistic freedom, and minorities, yet how hypocritically they commit the very crimes they project onto their political adversary, that is us. In regards to crime, it is my people who is the one ethnic group which is targeted the most on the street. It is my people of my political beliefs that are targeted the most for criminal violence. Yet they dare to speak about potential violence coming from us, when they outright deny or excuse the violence done to us. They speak about diversity, yet it's their policies that kills global diversity via local diversity, which eventually lead to the mixing of cultures and peoples until there's no races. As if this somehow reduced racism, look no further than to South America, where you have colorism. They speak about freedom, yet culturally and bureaucratically, via the state, target my people through affirmative action, allocate laws, hate laws, etc. They talk about how bad genocides are, yet excuse our genocide